What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I'm super excited to discuss for many reasons, and I'll get to those in a minute. But if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. As always, it's much appreciated, and let's jump into it. So why am I so excited about this particular film? Well, a year ago when I found out that they were going to be making this movie, I saw the cast and knew that the Russo brothers were attached to it, and I was just like instantly like sold. I was like, there's no way this movie's going to be a flop. Like this is going to be gold, right? So I made it a point to do whatever I could to try to get some kind of coverage, some kind of invite to any kind of event that they had, and for Real Movie Junkie. And I was able to get an invite to the global press junket through Netflix, so thank you guys so much. Shout out Netflix for that. That just happened this past week. The entire cast was there. I mean, it was just super, super cool to start off a year ago just wanting to be involved in some way, shape, or form, some kind of exclusive coverage, and then a whole year later actually being able to go to that. The Gray Man is about a top asset to the CIA, Court Gentry, aka Sierra 6, played by Ryan Gosling. He uncovers some agency secrets, which then triggers a global hunt by assassins set loose by his ex-colleague Denny Carmichael, played by Reggae John Page. They tap Lloyd Hansen, played by Chris Evans, to track him down by any means necessary. Before we get further into this review, I have to put a little disclaimer. By no means do I give a biased opinion. I feel like I give a fair and honest review. I like to do that. I mean, how else are you going to respect someone's opinion or their take on a film if they're constantly leaning in one direction? With that being said, although I am a huge Chris Evans fan, that has nothing to do with my feelings about this film, and I hope that that shines through. So, with that being said, the film's plot at its core is and by no means at all anything that's unique, right? We've seen someone be in possession of something that everyone wants and then get chased. At the core of it, that is essentially what's going on. Now, this cast is stacked. You have Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick, Danush, Billy Bob Thornton, and Alfre Woodard. I do personally wish that we could have got a little bit more in depth with the supporting cast because it's such a stacked crew. But I mean, I also feel that it might not have played out the way that it did. It may have taken away from Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans' character and their like rivalry that they have. So maybe perhaps it was for the best, or the film probably would have been easily like 3 hours long. This film so badly deserved to be a theatrical only release. Like, if you have the luxury of going to the theater, because it is showing in some select theaters, please go see it there. Like, they have a $200 million, or they had a $200 million budget for this film, and you can clearly see where they spent every penny of that money, because it's literally action-packed. It takes away from it so much having to see it only on a TV. Unless you're like my friend Omar, who has a sick setup with like an amazing sound bar and a big screen TV. Boo, tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. You should have went with me. But unless you have that at home, please go see it in a theater. I mean, it's definitely worth it. They did film at a lot of different locations like France and Prague. Good, go tear up some other countries, because here in the US, we're actually still rebuilding from the effects of the Avengers. Thanks, Russo brothers. Ryan Gosling is the star of the movie, right? Like, it's his film. He's the lead character, right? Like, he's the good guy, right? But the best part of this entire film is seeing Chris Evans transform into a villain that just doesn't give a bleep about anything. Like, by any means necessary, the job has to get done. He truly stole the show. His character has a way of like going about things that is truly against the grain. So let's talk about why Chris Evans was so fantastic in this movie, right? He doesn't really take a lot of villain roles, and I mean, we got to see him as a villain in Knives Out. Scott Pilgrim doesn't count. I mean, it's, you know, that was a cheesy type thing. I personally would like to even argue that he was a villain in Civil War, because Bucky was wrong. Why are you defending that man? He was wrong. He killed Tony's parents. How can you really protect that man? He's wrong. More often than not, when some of these actors play these roles for a long time, like Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Tom Holland's actually a perfect example, because you would see him as Spider-Man and then you go see him in like something Uncharted. Perfect example. In Uncharted, I just saw him as like Spider-Man without the ability to have spider senses. I don't know. But in this particular movie, I could really remove Chris Evans from being Captain America. He literally is a completely different person. He transforms. He literally shows his versatility, although the only thing different about his appearance is the mustache. His demeanor, his attitude, and his like quick banter and like jokes and just his fits that he throws it's literally a whole different character, and I respect him more as an actor to see that he can literally remove himself from that Captain America image that a lot of us know him for and just be Lloyd Hansen. Ana de Armas is great in this movie. I mean, she literally exudes kick-ass. She is a great companion to Gosling's character. But one of the things that I really give a lot of kudos to, I guess, the Russo brothers or whoever's idea was to go about this particular image, is that Ana de Armas is one of the most gorgeous women in Hollywood right now, right next to Margot Robbie and Zendaya. Like, there's a group of them. This particular movie, she's still like kicking ass and gorgeous, but they didn't make it all about her sexiness. They didn't have her like super like unclothed and running around in a bra and like lingerie and stuff like that they typically do. They treated her as an actor instead of making it like, oh, she's gonna be the sexy woman that's side by side with this assassin type thing. And I definitely commend them for seeing her as an actor instead of using her as like a sex symbol of some sort. In a weird way, The Gray Man actually kind of reminds me of Red Notice, because you have these three main characters that we are really invested in their overall trifecta, right? Like, we like all three of them, and it's also by Netflix, and it's like an action kind of like thing, but there's also some comedy. If you didn't know, The Gray Man is actually the first of a series of books. So the Russo brothers did say in the virtual press junket that they had that they were looking to possibly expand into a franchise, and they said that was the idea. In conclusion, with that being said, definitely check out The Gray Man. I rated a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I took off that little point is because the plot wasn't crazy unique, and that's perfectly fine. The Russo brothers delivered on a very solid action flick. They came, got the job done, and that's exactly what we needed. It's very different than seeing them do the Captain America or the Avengers films, and that's perfect. They were able to navigate into the crime or the action world. So love that. Like I said, definitely check it out in theaters if you have the ability to do that. If not, it's on Netflix July 22nd, which is this Friday, in select theaters right now. If you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. As always, it's much appreciated, and I will see you guys in my next video.